What is the Eterna Hybrid Exchange? Give me the broad strokes of this project. What are you guys seeking to accomplish here?
Eterna Hybrid Exchange is the unique one himself exchange, which is a combination of centralized and decentralized exchange. So Binance Cloud is enabled trading, including many other types of liquidity providers, for example, Kraken, Coinbase, and other KuCoin, and other big exchanges. So they are providers of LP in our exchange.
You want giveaways, 2 winners of $50 a piece from Eterna Finance. For this giveaway, all you have to do is make the best comment about what we talk about with Eterna Finance, something that you find interesting. So we're picking out the 2 best comments here. So quality over quantity here. We're trying to weed out these scam bots, and this is the only way I know how. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching the channel. Thanks for watching this AMA, and let's keep this thing going. What's going on, Cowboy? In this video, we've got another crypto project called Eterna Hybrid Exchange. It's a follow-up from an AMA we did in December. And so I love doing these because we want to know that, hey, what happened in the last 3-4 months? Is this project, is this team gone somewhere? Did we miss the boat, or is it still early enough to get in? And do we have a good team, good project on our hands? If you're new to this channel, my name is Aaron. I'm on a journey to my next Bitcoin while helping you to your next Bitcoin. I'm not a financial advisor, just a lizard brain cowboy exploring the wild west of cryptocurrency for a whole bunch of other cowboys. I'm trying to find the best projects to sink my hard-earned money and time into. I don't have a lot of money, so I want to be very, very precise with the types of projects that I am investing in. And today we have Eterna on the docket, and I think it's the best way to get information out for any project by doing an AMA from the horse's mouth to our cowboy ears. This is what we want to know. We want to know, hey, is this project worthwhile? Is this not? And so, Peter, Professor Chaos, welcome to the hot seat.
Hey, how are you doing, Sunshine? Good to see you again. Like, we didn't have AMA last time together, but we spoke a lot, so I am glad that finally we meet each other. And yeah, let's begin. Begin.
Good deal. Good deal. Guys, before we get into Eterna, I want to know a little bit about you guys. Give me like a 2-sentence synopsis of who you are before crypto and then getting into crypto.
Okay, Chaos, how about you first?
All right. Well, I'm an academic. I'm a professor of monetary economics. That's my career. I've also worked as a senior financial consultant for some of the world's largest banks. I got into crypto about a year and, 3 months ago. I met Piotr at least 10 or 11 months ago. And it was really Piotr who got me into development. I recognized immediately his considerable talent. And I knew one day he would be successful. I wasn't sure exactly what project he would succeed on, but I knew because it's part of my job to assess young entrepreneurs. That's what I do for a living, help them, mentor them, help them develop. And I recognized immediately Piotr's exceptional entrepreneurial talent, and I knew he would succeed. It was just a question of when.
You're a professor. You're an actual professor of monetary economics.
Yes,
so you do a lot of consulting and stuff like that. And then so you found Piotr here. But let me just ask you really quick. You're doxed here. The others of us, are not. You must be more handsome than us. But could I ask you really quick, like, why are you doxed and why choose not to not go, or why are you anonymous and why not go dox?
Well, to be honest with you, I mean, I have a career, so the last thing I want is some crazy crypto investors, calling my university and saying I lost money and it was Professor Chaos's fault. People lose money for all kinds of reasons.
Got it.
Usually because of imprudence, and we're not responsible for that, obviously.
Well, look at this guy, Piotr. He looks like a male model out here. Piotr, tell me a little bit about yourself, and especially for the ladies out here. Who you are and
so
your background.
My name is Peter. Piotr. I am Polish, and I used to run a couple businesses in my life. And I am in the crypto since less than 2 years. I started like everyone with thinking of making money. Then obviously I lost money in the trading, and because I also always had in my head this kind of desire to create new things and just bring something new. I said to myself very, very straight after that. I said it was like my fourth month in the crypto. I said, okay, this is good time to start my own project. So I started calling to crypto agencies, looking for developers. I found one who supported me. He wrote for us a smart contract. We ran a project, very successful. That you might know, goes up higher reborn, where we've hit it from $80,000 in a liquidity to 1.7 million in the first 12 hours of project leading. So it was very, very, very successful. Then we start to develop. There was before that we were working together with a professor under one different project, but it never goes live. And that was basically a time when we learned doing things. So first we've been in a school, then we start something new, then we start Eterna that we were developed for a long time. And yeah, but before we're gonna say about Eterna, let me finish about myself. So I graduated Bible school, and as I said, I used to run a couple businesses, very successful, and that's my background. Getting married in the next 3 months.
Oh, man, congratulations.
So things are working well. That's me basically. Simple guy,
Good.
Simple
Good.
guy
So
who like to do new things.
you've had a couple businesses, getting married a little bit, and you partnered up with Professor Chaos. Okay, so let's get into Eterna here. What is the Eterna Hybrid Exchange? Give me the broad strokes of this project. What are you guys seeking to accomplish here?
Okay, so before Eterna Exchange, we had an Eterna. I am also a website developer. I do websites, mobile application, and just front and back end, so full stack in some case. And we developed an Eterna as a project that just reason of developing it, like maybe not different. Eterna were a whole ecosystem that contained many platforms with a profit sharing of 50%. So I spent a lot of time creating a platform, Thrilly.io, a marketplace for freelancers that worked. But for some reason, the crypto market didn't like it. People just didn't use it. They focused on hiring people in a normal default way by just attacking them on Telegram. And that was the reason why I believe Thrilly were not accepted by the market. So that was the one a platform developed by Eterna. There were many additional platforms to develop, which we were working on, including Honley and the different apps. But we start to realize, of course, there is an Andromaid, which is additional incubator for a project. And we developed our first, so we collected money on a pre-sale, private sale 4 or 5 months ago. When we start to working, before Eterna launch, we start to working on incubated project called Vilon, where we agreed with the CEO that we're gonna just take control over this project, and that's how Vilon become a part of Eterna. Vilon were an exchange, and then we start to realize something, and that's the time for Professor. Okay, so, and then we start to realize that the exchange is something what is working way more better because of than the platforms, because there is a risk that the platforms will be not accepted by the market, or it will take a long time to basically give profit sharing for Eterna token stakers. So we merged Eterna and Ebilan, and we created Eterna Hybrid Exchange. And Eterna Hybrid Exchange is the unique one himself exchange, which is a combination of centralized and decentralized exchange. So Binance Cloud is enabled trading, including many other types of liquidity providers, for example, Kraken, Coinbase, and other KuCoin, and other big exchanges. So they are providers of LT in our exchange. But the most important thing is our own AMM aggregator that will create, in the case if there will be lack of orders on our exchange for a token that are not listed on Binance, so the order cannot be fulfilled on the Binance Cloud, automatically our exchange will ask, would you like us to fulfill your order on a PancakeSwap or a Uniswap or SundaySwap or any other blockchain decentralized exchange? So automatically you are sending a Bitcoin into our exchange. You would like to swap, for example, Bitcoin for a SafeMoon, which is not listed on Binance. So the Bitcoin will be sent into the Binance. Binance will send back Ethereum. Or AMM aggregator will send Ethereum into Uniswap. And Uniswap will send back SafeMoon token. And that's how you will get it. That's something like that never happened in the crypto space. And this is basically Eterna in the way of giving a possibility to fulfill an order on decentralized exchange if there will be no match on centralized exchange. So we are combination of two, 6 and X, which is hybrid hex. And that's why we think Eterna will be successful as a platform, and why it will be, in our opinion, successful as a token as well, where Eterna is the cross-chain token listed on both chains, ETH and BSC, that is giving you a possibility to just follow or jump between chains using our bridge, which is on a bridge.eterna.exchange. You can find our bridge there. And if you go through our roadmap, there is a lot of things, including creating our own blockchain and additional swaps and scans, all basically that will be required to run own blockchain. So our goal, our mission is to become top 100 coins on CoinMarketCap. And we do believe that it will happen. It's just a matter of time.
Gotcha. Okay, so let me work backwards here. Your goal right now in the roadmap is to be top 10, top 100 coins. And one of the ways you're going to do that is create your own blockchain. But the initial problem that you're trying to solve is that Eterna is a hybrid exchange, centralized, and then uses a decentralized mechanism, or your AMM. For people who don't know what that means, that's an automated market maker. And so when someone conducts a trade on a central exchange and that pair does not exist, it will then use the AMM to go into to decentralized exchanges, and then it'll fulfill that order by moving the assets into, just trading for different assets to get the pair that is needed to then trade you on the central exchange. Is that about the process? Okay, great. So that's why it's a hybrid exchange. It's a centralized exchange that, in order to fulfill the trades needed for pairs that don't exist, it'll go into and fulfill that with an AMM, that your AMM, automated market maker, and then go into the DEXs and then bring it back out into the centralized exchanges. I think I got it.
Regarding this 110 coins, how do we will be able to provide that big volume trading? How we will be able to provide that high amount of purchases of Eterna?
That was my next
That
question.
That will happen because of default pair that will be on our exchange with EHX. So there will be a pair with EHX. Someone is depositing a crypto, or crypto fiat. He would like to purchase Eterna, but how he will purchase Eterna to stored crypto trading? He will have to use our aggregator for it. So every single trade that will happen on our exchange will be in default pair with EHX. There will be, of course, BTC, USDT, ETH pairs, but also default pair will be EHX. And if you would like to buy EHX, you have to click convert your assets for EHX. And automatically, when you are doing it, your assets are sent into the Binance. Binance is sending back BNB ETH tokens, and those tokens are making a purchase. Our AMM aggregator is making a purchase on PancakeSwap and Uniswap. So basically, we are creating we can create not only for a project owner's price manipulation, because of giving a possibility to people to fulfill their orders in our AMM aggregator, but also in default, every person that would like to trade will have to hold in their wallets EHX tokens. And how they will do it? Basically by converting, and convert will come from our AMM aggregator. So everything will have effect on LP.
Got it. So you're saying that your native coin EHX will create inroads into the what's needed for the volume for trading on a centralized exchange. Is that about it? Got it. Okay. So I got a few questions here. Okay. So one of the questions here is, how did we get to this place? I rewatched our AMA in December 24. If you want to watch it, you can links in the description, links everywhere. But you, at that moment, you were trying to create that marketplace that for supply and demand for crypto professionals. You were creating an incubator, and then you were giving out 50% profits to anyone who's staking Eterna. Where are we with these? You said you eliminated the incubator, you eliminated the crypto professional marketplace because no one was using that. Is that correct?
So we eliminate Ethereum, which is marketplace for freelancers, for crypto freelancers, because people didn't use that. So we focus on things that are working, basically. And profit sharing, of course, is kept. So we will give 50% of our income for our token stakers. So there will be, of course, trading tax, which will be 0.1%. There will be additional taxes, for example, listing fees. There will be additional money income in a company, including advertisement, including everything. And this 50% of this income will be sent into our token stakers. So we are also a first exchange in the world that is providing a profit sharing. So I just want everyone to imagine, 500 million daily volume in exchanges that are happening in a normal basis, because 80%, I think, of trades are happening on the centralized exchanges, and the profit that company will take from it will be given to our token stakers. So, but an incubator, Andromeda incubator, of course, is still on our roadmap. So, of course, yes, it is still part of Eterna.
Oh, okay. So it's still on the roadmap, It's just pushed down as a priority, the incubator then.
Yes, but
Got it.
it is still fully functional. Yes.
Okay, got it, got it. So any future coins now?
It will become a launchpad. It will become a launchpad in the future.
Awesome. Now, the last thing about the past here is that you said that the number one, you and Professor Chaos said that the number one thing that you guys were solving was uncertainty in the market, and you were seeking to reduce uncertainty in the market. Now, having a centralized exchange doesn't seem like that was in line with that vision here. Has your vision changed, or how does how's the centralized, how does the hybrid exchange, how does that fulfill that vision? I guess one of those two questions.
So I would like to answer this question, but I can bet that Chaos got better answer for it.
First of all, I want everybody listening to this to understand there's only one way to make money. There's only one way to make money. Whether you are Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Hua Tang, or Jack Ma, the two richest men in China. The only way to make money is to listen to the market. It doesn't matter how good you think your product is. In fact, it may be ahead of its time by several decades. But if the market does not accept it, that means you're not going to succeed. So you must listen to what prices are telling you and listen to the market. That is the only way to make money. And what we were doing, we were experimenting with several different projects. And the market was telling us, the market doesn't like X, it doesn't like Y. But when we started experimenting with an exchange, the market told us that because of the response we got from investors, the response we got from other tokens, the response we got from huge investors, people with millions of dollars, were telling us this is the right track. Now, more broadly speaking, if we look analytically at the market, the financial markets, who's making the money in financial markets? Is it investors? Of course not. It is the financial intermediaries and the exchanges who are making the money. In the global financial system in the United States, for instance, banks. Hello? Sorry, can you hear me? Okay. Last year, banks made $279 billion.
Yep.
Okay. So that's who's making the money, the financial intermediaries. In fact, the New York Stock Exchange is a nonprofit, but the intermediaries on the New York Stock Exchange, the brokers, made over $50 billion. The London Stock Exchange made over 4 billion pounds. So that is who's making the money, the intermediaries and the exchanges. Who's making the money in crypto? I'll tell you who's making the money. $24.3 billion last year in revenue was generated by crypto exchanges and also stable coins. And there's no one to match them. No one else can match that kind of cash flow. So if you want to make money on crypto markets, what we realized, whether we're speaking experientially, empirically through our own testing, or if you analytically analyze the data in a general sense, the entities that are making the money are the intermediaries. And so if we want to be successful, we realize that we also must be an intermediary, and in this case, an exchange. Now, with regards to exchanges, who's making them? There was $14 trillion of trading volume last year on exchanges. Over 90% of that was on centralized exchanges, and the other 9.8% of that was on DeFi, decentralized exchanges. Now, everybody loves the word decentralized because it gives them the impression that somehow they're beyond the control of regulatory authorities, which of course is not true. However, for the moment, that seems apparently to be true. Although underneath, believe me, anytime the regulatory authorities want to clamp down on DeFi, and eventually, of course, they will. But for now, it gives the appearance. But however, ask yourself, why is 90% of the $14 trillion of trading volume last year generated on centralized exchanges? It's precisely because centralized exchanges solve this uncertainty problem. How do they do that? Which brings us to your second question. How do they do that? Well, on a centralized exchange, it's controlled by an order book, which matches buy and sell orders. So if I set a buy order, the order book on a centralized exchange, whether that's Coinbase, Kraken, Binance or any of the other major centralized exchanges, if I set a buy order, the order book which governs the exchange is going to match me with a sell order. So, for instance, if I want to sell a token for $1, if that's close to the market price, assuming that's close to the market price, I'll be matched with a seller. Or if I want to buy a token for $1, it will match me. The order book will match me with a seller who wants to sell for $1. And so there's no uncertainty there about the price. What you see is what you get. And that's why centralized exchanges dominate the crypto space. So that eliminates price uncertainty, which is the most important type of uncertainty. Now in DeFi, what we have is, you think you're getting $100,000 for your tokens, and you get $60,000. Why? Price impact and the difference between the LP and the market cap, and slippage, and all of these kinds of internal microstructure dynamics that are not self-evident to the uninformed buyer or the uninformed seller. While on a centralized exchange, what you see is what you get. And so what we wanted to do is attract all of the centralized exchange users, which again are generating 90% of the volume in the crypto space. And that means that you have a transparent order book based centralized exchange. What you see is what you get. However, what is unique about our platform is that those those users who love the centralized exchange for the reason that it eliminates price uncertainty can now experiment into the DeFi space, can experiment with PancakeSwap, can experiment with Uniswap, and eventually with the Avex chain and with because we're going to scale to not only to ADA but to Avex and to other DeFi platforms. Now,
Polygon,
that is
Sunny Ada,
so therefore, our exchange allows centralized exchange users, which again are generating 90% of the volume on 90% of the volume in the crypto space. It allows them to experiment from a safe environment, from a safe centralized environment. It allows them to experiment into the decentralized space. And so they'll be sitting on our platform safe, and it allows them to venture out into this Wild West, so to speak, this rather relatively anarchic market of the DeFi space. And so we believe that that's going to attract an enormous amount of people because we allow people from a centralized order book-based exchange to experiment and to make money on the decentralized, major decentralized platforms. So that's what a hybrid exchange is. It's a centralized exchange which allows you access into the decentralized exchange. Now, decentralized exchanges are run by AMMs, which are called automated market makers. That's an algorithm that basically where the people who are basically owners of the project must deposit.
Basically, you said you were listening to the market when you set out these goals or these intentions in December, an incubator, the crypto professionals, the supply and demand, all that kind of stuff, and you're saying that, hey, these weren't good. You heard back from investors, you heard back from the market, you heard back from your community. This is not good. This is stuff that we won't use. So you nixed them, and you said that my question was in the degree to which, how much are you still sticking to the reducing uncertainty in the crypto space? And you said that, look, in regards to uncertainty, the centralized exchange solves that as far as uncertainty, as far as price goes. What you see is what you get. You see the order book. It is what it is. And because in a decentralized exchange, you got slippage, you got all kinds of stuff that's, tax, all kinds of stuff that's messing with it. And so you are reducing uncertainty within the price, and in a centralized exchange, these tokens are not for nothing, should be at least some kind of vetted, looked into, KYC'd, so that you are reducing uncertainty on two different levels. One is the actual project. Two is the price action of it, or the price that you're getting for it.
Yes, and also in terms of allowing users to venture out from a safe environment, venture out into DeFi, so it reduces their fear, their trepidation about dealing with these kinds of, like I said, the anarchic Wild West of DeFi, which is profitable. So we want them to experiment and venture out,
Got
but
it.
from a
And so,
safe
yeah, you're
environment.
allowing this onboarding of safety onto the use of DeFi because it's only 10%. I think we all know or predict that it's going to grow, but for right now, it is not. It's only 9%. Okay, is there? I feel like I got the basics of the update of where you guys have been, of why you guys chose to pivot inside the market conditions, and where you guys are going right now, or where you guys are in the future, or right now with the hybrid exchange. But where are you guys going in the future? What's something on your plate that you are just so excited to tell us about, that could get us excited about joining with Eterna?
So for now, an exchange on Eterna.exchange is working on V1 version. In V1 version is giving you there is an order book and is giving you possibility to purchase the tokens with many sources of payment. One of them is a PayPal and other Stripe, and one more different payment solution, credit cards. So this is what is for now. In the next 2 months, there will be delivered a V2 version that will got Binance Cloud enabled trading. Then after that, straight away will be our AMM aggregator. Then will be iOS application. iOS application will go live same time when our exchange V2 version. Also, there is our blockchain in plan, including creating our own swap, creating EHX scan, and of a possibility to help people in listing, creating tokens on our blockchain. So those will be things that will just happen in the next year. So there is a lot of things that will happen. We just finished our pre-sale not a long time ago, collecting $1.5 million on a pre-sale, where 100% of funds we invested in Eterna, over $300,000, most from our private funds. And we collected $1.5 million, where 750,000 were injected in BSCLP, locked, and as well on ETH side, LP locked on Unicrypt, also in $750,000. So we basically invested everything we had in Eterna, didn't getting nothing back from it because everything were injected in LP. A lot of things that will happen, but in my opinion, what is the most for investors? What is the most important for investors? So the first thing is the profit sharing. This is something that will provide for them the highest high amount of money. So this is basically this. But in the case of what do we think, how the coin EHX that is launched already on Uniswap and the PancakeSwap, you can buy it now, how it will affect in next 2 months. So it will work in a way where, as I said, if you would like to buy a coin on our exchange, you will need to have EHX. You are getting EHX by simply clicking convert your asset into EHX. And these assets are converted into specific coin, for example, Ethereum or BNB, depends what kind of coin you want to buy. And then it is transferred using our AMM aggregator, sent back into your account. So all of those purchases are creating additional volume on our PancakeSwap and Uniswap LP. So if we can proceed, let's say in the first year, $100 million a day volume trading, then 40% of it will be taken from EHX. that will be purchased from PancakeSwap or Uniswap. So I believe that we can create enormous amount of money only because of our AMM aggregator. So something like that never happened in the crypto space. And I just want everyone to imagine how that will affect our chart and how that will affect basically the whole EHX token.
Got it. Got it. So you've got V2 coming out, few months, blockchain, your pre-sale went well, and then you wanted to give a special highlight to the profit sharing. I've got two hard-hitting questions here. Gloves are off. Kid gloves
Professor
are off.
gonna answer them. He gonna answer them. Professor, that's your turn. That's your turn.
Here we go. Okay. I got two hard questions here. First question is based on the changing focus, which was I would describe as a shotgun approach, and now it's more laser focused into one thing, the hybrid exchange, which I personally like. There might be other cowboys out there who might say, okay, I don't like that. I don't like how they switch their roadmaps, switch their focus on stuff like that. How can I trust them to then again, do what they say they're going to do in the future? What would you say to that type of investor cowboy with that kind of skepticism?
Eterna, as we had Eterna on our interview with you, with a cowboy, Eterna didn't launch. Eterna was not a live product. And we had a community of a couple thousand people asking them, getting AMAs, creating a DAO, asking, what do you think is supposed to be the best? So it is not only our decision, it is decision of every single person that participated in our private sale. So that's not that's their decision. We saw things, we monitored things, we gave that to them, and they said, let's do it. Let's do it this way. So it is not our decision to launch different products that were scheduled, but we didn't change a live project for something different. We asked community, our friends, people that were with us for a month, what they think about changing the idea of profit sharing taken from many platforms into one platform that will be successful because of innovation that is providing. So that's that's their decision.
It seems so. You're saying that it was a product that was not live, wasn't even out yet, but then you had the community involved every step of the way to then just focus and hone your focus into the hybrid exchange, which I love. The second question is that I have here is in regards to the profit sharing. How do I know that it's really 50% of the profit of the net, right? Like, is there a transparency that I could see on the expenses that, like, I know that this for sure is the profit, that is 50% of the profit that you have promised? How do I know that?
So there are two things. First of all, it is not a net profit. We are calling it net profit because it's very simple to say. But this is additional expenses for a company. So our company, Eterna Exchange, is registered in Estonia, licensed in Lithuania. But as you know, in a company, no even pence can go out without an invoice. So something like that is not happening. So just taking money and giving them to people, we will have to basically invoice every single person, will have to give us an invoice for every single cent that is given. Right. That's why I am now in Dubai with Professor Chaos that get back home a couple days ago. We are now opening a company in Dubai for Eterna that will give a possibility to send an invoices for Eterna in Estonia. So company in Estonia can transfer money into company in Dubai, and Dubai can inject them into the staking pool without any questions, because also of no tax offices, because of zero corporation tax, zero income tax, zero. How do you know? Everyone will got those kind of informations are public. I believe that it is even a law where so everyone can just ask for expense of a company and those kind of informations are public. So if someone requests it, then this is his his right to request it. So of course these are public information.
Got it. So okay, so yeah, because Professor Chaos really highlighted like just how much money can be made in a centralized exchange, and I just want to know, hey, if you're really doing what you say you're going to do upon 50% profits, and so you said upon request, that's how we know for any kind of transparency, which is great. I mean, that's how all of these businesses work anyway. Look, I'm out of tough questions. Is there anything left that you have to that you're just so excited about that we haven't talked about on Eterna Hybrid Exchange?
I'd like to re-emphasize this, issue of what Eterna offers investors. We offer a unique value proposition. So first of all, we do distribute 50% of our profits once we generate profits, and that includes listing fees. That includes trading fees, and that includes assuming we're really successful, eventually advertising fees as well. So basically, although this is a privately held LLC, what we're going to do is we're restructuring our corporation. So we're going to treat basically our stakeholders, people who stake our token, as common shareholders, even though technically they're not common shareholders. But from a financial perspective, we're going to treat them as common shareholders, and so therefore, what we're going to be distributing is 50% of our income to common shareholders, or the equivalent of that if they actually were shareholders. So that's we're the first exchange ever to distribute any percentage of their profits, much less 50% of net income, to their stakeholders. Second of all, I want to emphasize that we trade cross-bridge. Piotr mentioned it, but we already trade on Ethereum and the Binance Smart chain already, and we have a cross-chain bridge, which was a white label bridge created just for us. And so you're able, therefore, to engage in arbitrage. If you see the price of the ETH side of our project, if it increases dramatically above the BSC, then people who are invested on the ETH side can sell at the high price, migrate over the bridge, and I believe it's only a 0.1% tax to migrate over the bridge, and then buy at the lower price of the BSC side. And we've seen that already happen. We've seen people already make money that way. So we trade already cross-chain. So profit sharing, cross-chain trading, and also, we are releasing our version 2, which will have all the features we discussed in a maximum of 10 weeks. And believe me, this was not easy to find. We had to find 2 different software firms, one of them a global firm, a genuinely multinational firm, and we had to go to several firms to develop our own, AMM aggregator, which allows us to access all of these DeFi platforms. And we went to 4 firms, and 4 of them said, no, we're not going to do it. No, we can't do it. No, we can't do it. And finally, we found someone who would. And then we found a multinational firm who's developing our centralized Binance cloud-enabled exchange. And we had to talk them into building our own proprietary, our own specialized API, which is going to connect their Binance-enabled centralized exchange that they're developing just for us, to the DeFi-enabled AMM aggregator, and we got them to talk to each other. So this was actually a huge undertaking. Don't think that this was just a matter of hiring, a few devs we met on the BSC or ETH or whatever. These are 2 firms, and one of them is a multinational firm. And of course, it's costing us quite a bit of money and time and energy to require them to coordinate their efforts. But in less than 10 weeks, version 2 is coming out. And beyond that, of course, we already have our own incubator, and our incubator is also unique because anyone can develop their own token for the price of KYC. We will develop everything else. We'll write the contracts for you. We'll do the marketing for you. We'll staff it. All we need is KYC from you, and we will launch your token, assuming, of course, it's a high-value token, a high-value idea. So you have a great idea. We're ready to help you launch it. We'll eventually have our own launch pad, but that's in the future. And eventually, long term, we're going to have our own hybrid blockchain. But that's blockchain, as everybody knows, we're talking 2 years. So we have these very ambitious development plans. But our hybrid exchange, less than 10 weeks, it will be released. So you can get in on it now before the action really begins. Right now, we have an already functioning. We launched with utility already. We launched with a fully functioning centralized order book exchange, but it's not nearly as sophisticated as the order book exchange that we're developing, along with the hybrid aspect that will allow us through our own proprietary white label AMM aggregator developed just for us to access the DeFi space. So you can get in on EHX, on Eterna Hybrid Exchange now before we launch version 2 and we take off. We're going to take off like a rocket because we are already listing tokens. We're going to have a full frontal marketing campaign, including the big influencers, including, of course, you, Cowboy. And, you know, therefore, now you can get on the ground.
As the biggest one, the top guy.
Before we take off, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. So let me just recap. I'm gonna give you the. I'm gonna end it right there, guys. The marketing campaign, a blockchain coming in 2 years, an incubator that is for any good ideas with the just use. All you need is KYC, proprietary knowledge on a centralized Binance Cloud exchange, or like for the AI and stuff like that. Your proprietary AMM aggregator in your cross-chain development for the bridge. All accumulating into anyone who is staking. You're going to treat them like common shareholders in 50% of the profits. This is really exciting. We could tell that there's a ton of hard work into this, a lot of energy, a lot of thought, a lot of money into this.
A lot of money.
We can't wait to see where it's going. Piotr, Professor Chaos, thank you for being on the channel.
Thank
guys,
you so much.
If you're interested in getting into Eterna Hybrid Exchange, check out the links in the description down below. Register right now. I already registered. I'm checking them out already. And come and join me into seeing what Eterna has to offer you. Guys, thanks for watching. Lizard Brain, get into good projects, and we'll see you in the next video.